What makes the super rich splash out so much money on art? Is it love, rivalry, or just big business? I want to find out more about this infamously secretive art world and the multi-millionaires who populate it.
You've got your grubby hands on my beautiful wall.
I do apologise.
I'm searching for the most expensive paintings in the world to uncover the stories behind their record-breaking prices.
Fair warning. Going.
They were married in 1941, and in 1942, which was 2 years before I was born, they bought the Dream. That was a very, very, very bold, brave, and big purchase for them.
Do you know how much it cost them?
It cost $7,000.
And to put that in context, was that...
To put it in context, the rent on the apartment that they had was $300 a month. So it cost more than 2 years' rent.
Right, that's
More or
an
less.
investment. It sounds like, the way you're talking, that the Dream was one of the early purchases then.
It was the first thing they bought.
That was the first work of art they bought, was The Dream by Picasso.
He saw the painting.
He fell in love.
He fell totally in love with it, the way you fall in love with a person. Couldn't get it out of his mind and figured they had to scrape together the money and give up other things in order to buy it.
My father began collecting in the 50s. He'd mutter, and sometimes he'd hit me in the arm and say, "Paul, look at this. Can you imagine someone being able to carve this way? I mean, look at David. Oh, look at the spine." I mean, this is how he responded. And with each object, it would be a different facet to the object. It would be the patination, it would be the color.
One of the defining moments in the history of the collection, of course, came when you bought Rubens' Massacre of the Innocents and paid what still is a world record for an old master painting of just north of $76.5 million.
Weekly, until the auction, he'd come down with the catalog and he'd ask me, "David, what do you think this will fetch? What would you do if you were me?" And I'd say, "Dad, I think, frankly, you need to buy this picture. It's something that resonates."
Those were exceptional prices, weren't they?
Those were exceptional prices.
I guess the big question is, you know, did he overpay? Because it's such a large sum.
I think the question is, why does it matter?